Okay, hi everyone. We are back with the Friday Hangout, and I will be the host for the day. We'll be discussing about the ongoing ODI series between India and England, the upcoming T20 international, and lots of other cricket news. So let me first welcome our regulars. We have Mridul, who is the most regular guy I've ever seen in the Friday Hangouts. He's always there, no matter what. Hi Mridul, how are you doing?
Hi Keshav, I'm fine. Thanks for the compliment for regularity.
Well, you deserve it. And then we have Parth, the RJ from Gujarat, Ahmedabad. Hi, Parth. How are you doing?
I'm good, Keshav. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. If India keeps playing like this, I'll be good forever. And not even me, all the Indian fans. And then we have Puneet all the way from Mohali. Hi, Puneet.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I think you have come after a long time, and
Yeah.
especially at the start of a hangout. So it'll be fun to have you for the whole hangout here. And apart from that, I think more people will join us in some time, and even you all can join whomsoever watches this link. Just go to Circle of Cricket page, Facebook or Google Plus, and just click on the link, and you can join us in this cricket discussion. So let me start with asking a very simple question to all of you. Did you expect India to give this kind of a thrashing to England, like clean sweep? I mean, till now it's been really professional, clinical cricket. They have won all the three games very convincingly. So did you expect England to play this bad, or did you expect India to play this well? Let me go to Puneet first. Puneet, what do you think about this?
Actually, being honest, I never thought that India can play that well and England can play that bad. Because we have seen performance of England in last two test matches. Their bowlers were like on the point and they were bowling really good and they're bowling very very sharp. But suddenly India comes out of the blue and performs really well. And England takes that blue patch onto them and they go into the well and suddenly there are no hope, there is nothing going good for them. That's totally table has been turned. So I never ever thought that India can play that well. Credit goes to Indian team, credit goes to Dhoni. After that much criticism going around, everybody shouting on you, everybody saying Dhoni is not doing good in overseas. Yet he stood and he told his boys to take their head up and they performed. That's hats off to all of to them.
Okay, and same question to you then, Parth. What was your prediction before the series started? Like last time, if you remember, we asked everyone's prediction. And did you think that India would be playing this well?
In my weirdest thought, Keshav, let me be very honest. I would have never thought India doing so good in England. Yes, they are a talented side, but the way they performed in Test cricket and the way they have turned around in the one-day cricket is just fantastic. Um, and full marks to Mahendra Singh Dhoni and his teams. The bowlers have performed, the fielders have performed, the fielding has been good. The batting is doing a good now. Even Shikhar Dhawan is getting runs now. So everything is going on. I guess India is very comfortable in playing white ball, then red ball, and England as well. England has disappointed me as well. As a one-day side, England never looked that good, that competitive to compete with the world champions. So it's a disappointing. It was very disappointing to see England performing like this, and the way Team India performed in Test cricket, exactly England performed it in one-day cricket. So they were if England was bad if India was bad in one day in Test cricket, England uh, was bad in one-day cricket. So I think it's about mindset. India is happy playing one-day cricket. England is happy playing Test cricket, and somehow these two teams don't enjoy the other formats. I guess England enjoys playing Test cricket, India enjoys playing one-day cricket, and you can see this in
Well,
the result. And
I think the basic thing here is I think India does care more about the shorter format of the game and they're doing good in that. And England on the other hand care more about test matches, so they're doing in that arena. Mridul, if I ask you, suddenly what happens to MS Dhoni? I mean, in test matches, he has almost the same team, apart from Suresh Raina or a couple of other players. He has almost the same team, and England has almost the same team. What happens in the 5 day games? I mean, what's the difference when it comes to one day that he's so successful and also has become the most successful one day captain for India?
Actually, I think in this Test series, I don't think Dhoni was that bad as a captain. I think that his players, like his bowlers, were not performing well. Batsmen were not really scoring runs. So I would not like to criticize Dhoni for his captaincy in this Test series. And as we all know that Dhoni is a great limited overs captain. He enjoys limited overs captaincy, and his guts and his intuitions always work in limited overs. And apart from this, he have a good bench strength for ODI side. India has been like playing well in ODI cricket, and inclusion of Suresh Raina has really amazed me. The way he has been performing in batting and all, and the way he is fielding. I think one of the major concern in the test was the slip fielding and overall fielding. But after the inclusion of Raina, what a great fielding side we are seeing. So I'm really impressed with our overall ODI performance. And apart from this, if we like to talk about Test cricket, I think England is like losing Stuart Broad here. He was one of the most premier bowlers for there. So England is missing Stuart Broad, and I think we are very happy that he is not playing. And England is like not playing that well ODI cricket because. Players like Alex Hills, they are giving them a good start, but they are not converting it. So I think that's the major problem for them, and India is outclassing them in every aspect of the game.
Keshav, Keshav, Keshav to mute है.
Yeah, so whatever Mridul said, I think Mridul, people like Alex Hales and all, they've just started their one-day career. I know they've done really well in T20 cricket, especially Alex Hales. He's the #1 T20 player if you see the rankings. But one-day cricket is altogether a different format, and I think he needs to, rotate the strike and build those innings. So I think it will take time. And if you talk about Stuart Broad is not there, that would have helped England. But I think the way India is playing right now, forget Stuart Broad. Even if someone like Glenn McGrath would have come and played for England, I don't think that would have affected India much. Okay, Puneet, you want to say
Keshav,
something?
I wanted to add something. As Mithul said that Stuart Broad is not playing with them. I agree with you that it does. It would not have made any difference because Indian batsmen are playing well. And if you will look on England bowling, James Anderson is totally different bowler, which he was in Test. He is bowling in Test. He was bowling 5 length balls on good length, swinging away. Now he bowls one good length ball, then he bowls another short length, then he goes to middle length, then he goes to straight ball. He's trying too much. That's what is lacking. That's what I feel England bowlers are lacking. They in one day they are trying too much. That's the
Puneet
main
bhai,
issue with them.
Puneet bhai, also the white Kokapura ball is not swinging that much like a red Duke ball. So that
If you see Bhuvneshwar or Mohammad Shami, they are swinging the ball. They are swinging the same ball.
yes, but England are habituated with playing with the Duke balls, and I guess
It's
they
not.
are.
It's not the fact. If you will look if you will look on the pitch map, James Anderson, some is way shorter than he was bowling in Test, and he's also bowling different line. One ball is on off stump, second is on middle stump, then third goes to leg stump as well. But I feel he's trying too much. That's what I feel.
Well, I think the same thing I mentioned before Puneet started. So India is actually in a that kind of a patch where everything is going right and people who are out of form they're coming back to the form. And if you talk about England side now, you know the former players are saying they don't have a chance at World Cup. Cook should be dropped. He should not be the one-day captain. He's not the kind of player who is needed in a modern day cricket, to give you big heavy starts and to chase down 350 like anything. So I mean, what's that about? If I ask Parth now, Parth, you agree with the former players, or you think that England is going in the right direction because these players won them the Test series?
See the changes they are making, Keshav. I guess they need to give their players a bit of a confidence there. They are making changes after every match, and the weird changes. If you see in the first match, they were playing with Ian Bell and the experienced guys with them. They dropped Ian Bell. They brought in Gary Balance. Now they are dropping Gary Balance. They have brought back Stokes and also Treadwell. In the previous match, Treadwell was replaced by Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali did good, and that's why they retained him. They dropped Gary Balance just because of one match. So England needs a settled unit there. They should learn from India. See how Indian selectors are behaving with this Indian team. Even if they are losing matches, they are giving them a long run. They are showing confidence in them, and
Hello, hello,
uh,
hello.
that is that is the way you can move forward as a team. And with Cook, I am just not getting that feeling that they can win a one-day game with him as a top, with him batting at top. They need somebody dynamic player there. Yes, Alex Hales is there, but I guess Gary Balance would be a perfect player to start with Alex Hales.
Okay, we have been just joined by Sunny. Hi, Sunny. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Keshav.
Yeah, I think is that an earthquake at your place, or like it's the camera is tilting so much?
Actually, I'm joining this video chat from my mobile.
Okay, okay. So are you comfortable talking like that?
Yeah,
Okay, I mean, we were just talking about the England India series and how England is playing so bad when it comes to one day internationals. I'm sure you would be missing your favorite player KP in that England side. He could
yeah.
have made a big impact in that team. So, what do you think? I mean, England has a chance to win this final game and the T20, or it'll all go India's way.
I think England are now England are not left with any chance also. They have to make certain changes in their squad. Cook should be replaced by, as a captain, Cook should be replaced by Morgan, and instead of Cook, I think Joe Root should
Hello,
open the
hello,
batting
hello,
with
hello.
Alex.
Okay, okay. And then we have got Pankaj back with us. Hi, Pankaj.
Hey Keshav,
Yeah, how are you doing, man?
good. Sorry I'm late. I got held up in a meeting. I rushed back as quickly as I possibly could. So here I am. Tell
It's
me,
okay. Yeah,
what's
anyway,
happening?
good to have you back. We just started like 10, 12 minutes ago. So, yeah, I mean, we're just discussing as usual the ongoing cricket match and the series between India and England, and the fact that no one actually, thought that India will play so well or England would play that bad. So, what's your take on that? I mean, did you predict India will, just go all out?
Well, I think Keshav, we have spoken about this in the previous hangout as well, and one trip before that. That India, when it comes to the shorter format, is a completely different side altogether. What they bring to the pitch, in terms of confidence, in terms of faith in their own abilities, is a huge, a glaring contrast between the same set of players who play the Test and the ODI. So yes, I mean, so I had the similar faith. In fact, you and I both predicted that definitely the series is ours as it has been happening. In fact, you went all the way saying that it'll be 4-0. I said it'll be 3-1, just hoping that maybe one day India would get it wrong. But from what it seems like, Keshav, you were right. I mean, India is on a roll. I think they're doing everything right and supported very well by England, I must say. I mean, they're doing, rather, I should be saying, they're screwing up everything they possibly could. So it all helps India in a big way. I'm sure all the fans are happy, as you are and I am. So this is excellent. And yes, I mean, to answer your question in a nutshell, yes, I absolutely expected this.
And with the World Cup round the corner, I think it's good for Team India that they're doing good in overseas conditions, because in Indian conditions we know that they are flat pitches, spinners come into play, and then even the last series which India played against Australia, high scoring series, but India finally winning it 3-2. So I mean, it's important that India start proving their mettle in these conditions, because the last two tours were winless. I mean, New Zealand and South Africa, they didn't even in the ODI series. But then good days are back, and let me go to Mridul here. Mridul,
Sorry, I apologize. Mridul, I'm sorry to cut you in between. I just wanted to add something that because Keshav mentioned World Cup, so, what are the most heartening part for me, especially in conditions like these, Keshav, is to see our bowlers perform so well. Yes, our batsmen take the glory every single time. Somebody will score a big 100. We'll be talking about it for the rest of, probably the next two series. But the way the bowlers have done their job, they stuck at it, gave the English batsmen so much trouble at their own, home conditions, especially Bhuvi. I mean, he's been magnificent for such a long time. So that is, I think, I would take that with us going into the World Cup. Obviously, there are a couple of other tours lined up, and I hope they do equally well. But this is really cool to see here.
yeah, obviously, even the last game, if you see, the batsmen were the ones who took the limelight. Rahane got the man of the match, but it was the bowlers' effort who restricted into 200 odd runs. So coming back to Mridul, before that ODI series, we were all criticizing MS Dhoni, in the Test series, the way he played, the way he carried the team, or the changes he made in the team. And even at the start of this ODI series, people were like, "Oh, he doesn't give chances to new people. He keeps playing people who are out of form, Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan." So now that India have done so well with those players have come back into the form. So do you support MS Dhoni's decision to give them a longer run, or do you still think someone like Sanju Samson should have been given a chance?
Uh, I support Dhoni's decision to play them in the three matches, but I think this match is like not anything for result. I think Sanju Samson or a player like Karan Sharma should have been given a chance, because if you look at the World Cup in Australia, I think we should try and build our team according to that. Umesh Yadav has been given a chance. That's a good thing. But a player like Sanju Samson or Karan Sharma, who are performing really well, they performed well in the quadrangular series in Australia. So they should have been given chance, and a bowler like Bhuvneshwar should have been rested. Something like this should have been done, because we want to try our players. Apart from this, what will be our 15 member squad for the World Cup? I think that has been decided by Dhoni, and he want to stick and give those players more number of exposure, so that they can be groomed properly for the World Cup.
So, like you said, someone like Bhuvneshwar should have been rested, and maybe Karan Sharma could have played. So that leaves India with just a couple of fast bowlers. So, Puneet, do you agree with that?
Karan Sharma in place of Ravichandran, Ashwin, and all, and Dhawan should have been given one more match.
Actually, what I'm looking for last 5 or 6 years. If you will try to search for logic in Dhoni's decision, then you will fall short from your search. But what I personally feel, whatever he is doing right now, he has been doing it for last 5 or 6 years, and he is doing it good. So I personally backing right now Dhoni, that he is doing whatever he is doing good.
Well, I think this is the case. If India would have won the Test series, then जो भी decision होते, slip catches भी छूटे होते, I think everyone would have supported. So it's all about winning at the end of the day. Yeah, Pankaj, you were just
on that note, what Mridul and Puneet were talking about, especially about MS, well, I believe that if you are looking to give logic and reasons to a particular decisions, you'll always find logic and reasons to it. Okay, that's one. Secondly, I believe whatever that MS is doing right now, especially in this match, I believe that it is a case of too little, too late. Probably that should have started from the third match itself. The series was tied up. Maybe, yeah, fine, they were going for the victory and all that. But I still believe that it's, as I said, too little, too late. A lot more could have been done. A lot more changes and shuffles. I mean, for India, this game is just a practice match, and they should have approached it accordingly. A lot more should have been done.
So, do you think like by winning so convincingly in this ODI series and captaining so well, being a totally different captain in this format, he's trying to prove a point that there's nothing wrong.
Keshav, this argument should be twofold. If we are trying to give credit to MS for the victory that the players are doing and giving to India for the ODI, then if that is the case, then Dhoni should be sacked just on the basis of the performance of the Test squad. But nobody is talking about that. Every time we lose, we say, "Oh, the players didn't do enough. Why should we blame Dhoni all the time?" But now that suddenly our ODI team is winning, so Dhoni is a brilliant captain. I don't think he's done anything great as a captain right now. It's the players who've come to the party. They are basically they're standing up and being counted. So what is Dhoni doing anything special? No, nothing. But then I guess this argument is never ending, because Dhoni fans would never like to hear this. But the argument that you put forward, Keshav, is very simple. That if you want to give him credit for ODIs, then sack him for the Test.
Obviously, but one of the important things I noticed is, if the pitch is turning a little bit, if India's spinners are doing well, I think Dhoni becomes an altogether different captain. His mind, works so proactively. And even in the last game I saw, Ajinkya Rahane, just saved, I think, a boundary there in the covers, and he really, had a really, amazing save there. So Dhoni, all the way till I think 25 yards went there, just patted him on the back. I've never seen Dhoni done anything like
enough
this.
was said about this by Ravi Shastri and the other commentators as well. But where was this when the team was down in the Test? He wasn't willing to move 5 yards to pat somebody on the back when somebody was either doing well or bad.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like Dhoni.
Yeah, this was nice to see. I'm not disagreeing with you on that bit. I think it's always nice to see when you see that kind of camaraderie between the team, especially from a captain who's a well-established captain over the last I don't know how many years. But then you have to keep things in perspective. You can't take one thing at a time and just feel suddenly happy. Why? Because these are good times in a different format for India. You have to take the entire tour and then take a call on all these things accordingly. So I mean, I'm happy. I'm extremely happy. Being a cricket fan, I'm seeing good cricket. Being an Indian, I love the fact that our team is winning, especially with the kind of debacle we've faced in the Test side. So which is nice to see. But then I like to keep things in perspective. So I will not go overboard in praising Dhoni too much.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I also said, that Dhoni becomes a different captain in one-day cricket, and I think if that would have been the case in Test cricket, Indians would have been more successful, I guess.
Well, again, I would say that these 3 victories were brilliant, but then I don't think Dhoni had any role to play there. These were done very well by all the players who took up responsibility and did exactly what they were supposed to do as member of the team. It was not any special captaincy or some great decision making by Dhoni. Yes, he's the leader of the pack. The kind of energy he's shown maybe infused a lot more spirit into the team, which is nice. But when it comes to pure cricket, I don't think he did anything special, Keshav. But I would disagree with you on that.
Yeah, but like Pankaj, there are like some small decisions like field placements, rotating the bowlers. If you saw the last game, he had his favorite leg slip over there, and Morgan just maybe didn't even notice that small thing. So ये छोटी-छोटी जो चीजें होती हैं, I mean, these things do really count. If the leg slip wouldn't have been there, we don't know how much Morgan could have scored. So I mean, I'm not giving big credit to him, but these are the part and parcel of captaincy. और कौन करेगा अगर if not the captain?
तो exactly केशव, तो उसको टेस्ट सीरीज में भी वैसी कैप्टनशिप करनी चाहिए थी.
Same, yeah, exactly. That's what I said. He should show the same proactiveness
in the Southampton Test match. He went very defensive, and that costed us a series.
Yeah. So let me go to Puneet. Puneet, now that India has done so well in this series, we have discussed a lot about it. I think T20 also follows, and India will do well there as well because because of the current form England is in. So after this, where do you go? These 2 teams going, because India plays West Indies at home. England doesn't have Test cricket at all, so they just have to focus on one-day cricket until next April. So, do you think that if we talk about England, they have a tour to Sri Lanka for 7 1 days. Do you think some big decisions have to be made in order to just give them a good prospect in the World Cup?
In which team? Indian or England team?
England.
Yeah, actually, if you will look, if you look around, their batsmen are not playing spin that much well, and next tour is to Sri Lanka, and it is also in Sri Lanka. Then they have to look something big. If they will have to, look for World Cup, they have to do something major. They have to take some, big decision. They have to change some. They have to take some major changes in team because Spain is going to play a part in Australia as well. We have seen in the past if fast bowling is playing their part in the Australia, but Spain plays its part as well. So they have to look around. They have to look for players who can play spin as well as pace. So that's what I feel, and that's it from my side.
Okay. What about you, Mridul? Like, do you agree with him, or do you think that because England has this core of players who are so solid at the top of the order, so they should play old school cricket, try to give a solid start in the first few overs, and then probably with players like Morgan, Butler, just accelerate at the end. I think you are muted. Mridul, I think you're muted. Okay. I think there's some technical glitch with Mridul. Pankaj, same question to you.
I'm sorry, I kind of lost track. What was the question again?
Yeah, the question is, England people have been saying they are playing very old school cricket. They have players who, are solid with the technique and all. They try to give a good start. They try to build their innings through the first half of the innings, maybe 25-30 overs, and then they expect players like Butler, Morgan to just give a boost at the end. So, do you think this is the right way to go? Because in modern day cricket, everyone wants someone at the top of the order, to give them a kick start and get to 70, 80 odd runs in the power plays.
Uh, okay, yeah. So I agree with that. That to a certain extent they are playing kind of old school cricket, but let's remember that that's how England have always been, and they have done decently. I mean, they've not been the worst side for the last 2 decades. But they've been decent always. But I think one of the biggest factors, especially with the batting front, is like they are low on confidence. Even if you look at the Test series, India was so bad that they kind of make the job easier for England to do well in all departments. But when you look at it and compare the same side in this format, in the ODI format, their batsmen are struggling. But then again, since the World Cup is a little far ahead, I still think they have enough time to kind of build this together. But if I'm looking at it for England, as an England fan, that is not my worry. Batting can come together. It can happen over time. My biggest worry is their dependency on two of their biggest assets as bowlers, Broad and Anderson. They are exceptional when it comes to Test, but they aren't even remotely close to that when it comes to the shorter format. So that is a huge worry, because if I'm an England fan, I'm thinking that okay, batting, even if they click, somebody might click. There are 11 of them, but there are really two bowlers for England only, and in the ODI they aren't doing much. So then what happens? Who will get those wickets out? Who will win them the matches? I mean, you can't expect batting with the kind of form they're in. So that's my worry. I mean, I'm not so worried about batting because it's sort of what do you call momentum thing. Right now the batting is shoddy to say the least, but it can come together if they apply themselves. But bowling, I'm very skeptical and worried in the shorter format for England.
I think one of the reasons could be fatigue, because they have had a really long summer. They played a couple of test matches against Sri Lanka, 5 1 days against them, and then 5 test matches. So I mean, 7 test matches, 7, 8 1 days, T20s, and I think they're happy somewhere to have won the test series, because what I feel is ECB and the English players are more concerned about test cricket, and on the other hand BCCI and India are more concerned about the shorter format.
But
Okay, so
can I just add to that, Keshav? You
yeah,
know, I
yeah,
mean,
sure.
you're right. I mean, when you look at the mindset of the federations, you might be right. I mean, I don't deny that. But one thing just about Anderson and Broad as bowlers, you know, in the test format, people are not exactly trying to get after them. They basically the mindset is, I don't have to get out to these two bowlers. And when you get into this defensive mindset as a batsman, you're always in trouble. There will be that one-off good ball every over and you have to save yourself against it. But because you're in that defensive mindset, more often than not, you will nick it one way or the other. You know, they are that good in that format. But I think the confidence after one clean shot on either of these two bowlers, suddenly Anderson is not the same Anderson who was playing the test, and the lengths become different. And obviously, the ball makes a huge difference. They've been playing with the red cherry in the test, and the white ball doesn't swing as much. So obviously, that cuts the Anderson factor to a certain degree. You know, so they are not as lethal as potent with in this format with that ball. So that'll be a huge worry. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, at some point of time, I thought that, if we talk about this mindset, which you said, Indian players were in, I think there India just missed someone like a Virender Sehwag because, he's always aggressive and no matter whatever the bowler is, at the start he always stays positive and give India a good start. So I think people like Dhawan and all they are aggressive when you talk about their overall cricketing career. I mean, if you talk about one day cricket, I mean people were talking like Dhawan could be successor to Sehwag. He plays like him. He cut loose like something. But then I think he people were just I think scared inside, when it comes to Anderson and Broad. Okay, moving ball, what would we do? Uh, so we have got some new people over there. We have got James. Hi James, can you hear us? Buddy, you are muted. Can you just unmute yourself? There would be a red color microphone button on your screen. Okay, I think we'll take some time to get this done. Let me go to Parth there. Parth, now we have talked about where England are and what they should do about it. Let's just talk about Indian cricket a little bit there. The squad, they have a very balanced side. Uh, when it comes to things like they haven't given chances to new people and still they are winning. That means team is in the right direction. So now they play Champions League, which is not that important if you talk about international cricket, but a tour of West Indies coming to India and then the Australia series. What changes you think are going to happen, or if there would be any changes at all?
I don't think so. There will be much changes in this team because we are playing 5 matches against West Indies in home condition, and after that we are going to Australia, and our series starts around 15 January. And according to the ICC rules, we need to declare the team before 1 month. That means we need to declare our World Cup squad around 12th of January. So I guess the same squad will play in Australia, and the same squad will play in the World Cup. So we have just 5 matches, and I don't think so they will try much. But at some point of time, I would like to see Yuvraj Singh and Harbhajan Singh in this side. They will add experience to this side. Karan Mishra hasn't got a game. I know he's a
It's Karan Sharma.
yeah, Karan Sharma hasn't got a game, but and he is less experienced. And to take a guy to play a World Cup, I guess it would be unfair for him as well to expect him to do good in Australian conditions, making a debut there. It would be unfair. So I would go with my old options. I would go with Harbhajan Singh or Yuvraj Singh. I know they have remote chances of making into this team, but I want experienced guys in the team as well. At least in the 15-member squad, they make their place.
But Parth, don't you think that these upcoming series are a great platform for somebody like a Karan Sharma, who could be an asset to the World Cup team, that he should be given chances? I mean, we should look at these whatever series that lie ahead of us as everything as a practice game for the World Cup. As we should be giving, if that is really the aim of the team to win the World Cup, then any number of 10, 15, 20, whatever matches that we have to play, we should try as many people, try and get them in as soon as possible, give them chances so that they are ready. They have enough. I mean, I completely agree with you. Karan, as of now, obviously doesn't have any experience whatsoever. But I think this is a great platform. You have about what 5, 6 months left, so I think this is the time that he will learn. If he does well, great. Take him in the squad. Maybe give him a game, give him games, try it out. If he doesn't then do well, then throw them out. But this is why I believe this rotation and a bit of chances to everybody needs to be done.
But
But
Pankaj,
Pankaj, I think it's true that there's a lot of time left. But if you talk about the matches left, I think there are 5 matches against West Indies. And after that, the tri-series India plays against Australia and England and Australia. I think that squad would be more or less the squad for the World Cup because the World Cup teams have to be announced 1 month in advance. So, and the series also happened in January, and the World Cup is in Feb. So, I think Karan Sharma doesn't have that much of games, or even anyone else.
Knowing MS, I would not be surprised that he's already made up his mind what his squad's going to be for the World Cup. That's how it is. And he's very hard to change that way. So I won't be surprised if we don't see too many changes. It won't come as a shock to me at all. But then, as I said, as a fan, as a cricket lover, and somebody who likes to see youngsters perform at the big stage, I think I would like to see that, but I'm not very hopeful of that.
But the point that Parth made, that he wants to see people like Zahir, Sehwag,
No, you
Harbhajan, Yuvraj.
mentioned Yuvraj and Bhaji, yeah.
Yeah. So do you agree that India should go back to old horses?
Uh, you know, well, with the kind of batting we have, maybe not. And honestly, I would rather give a chance to youngsters and see how they perform. If they are ready, great. Otherwise, we still have enough. UV, I would like to see because I think that guy is just born for the big stage. What he can do, he can just transform himself and be a match winner single-handedly, and he can contribute with the ball as well to a certain extent with his left arm, which can be expected because they aren't exactly turning conditions. So that's why that can flummox the batsman. So I think he can be an asset if he is in really good nick. Whatever games that he might be playing domestically or wherever he is playing, I don't know which part of the world he is in right now or whatever he is doing. But that if he is in good nick, he's a batsman I would love to carry to the World Cup with me because honestly, he can give you that quick fire 30-40 as well. And on his day, that quick fire 30-40 might suddenly be 70 or 80. And that's just the game for you there.
And what about Zahir Khan? You want some experience in your attack?
No. I don't think Zahir Khan's fitness is up to the mark for him to take the gruels and the rigors of probably the World Cup. And plus, the lack of international. I mean, no matter. I mean, no doubt he's been India's best before Bhuvi right now for a long, long time. He's the leader, maybe behind the scenes as well. Who knows? But then no, I would not take Zahir. I think our bowlers have done enough to cement their place right now. I mean, if you start doing that, then basically you're suggesting to them that there's no point of you performing so well because we just want to experience. Then what is the point of them winning you games? I mean, you just yourself said, Keshav, that the previous game, even though Jinx got the man of the match, but it was set up beautifully by the bowlers, right? They restricted England, and that's why the game was so easy for us. So they are doing a fantastic job, and they should be rewarded. That's why I don't agree with Parth on the Bhaji part. That maybe because the bowlers, we have enough arsenal there. Maybe less experience, try it out if it was great. But with the batting, I mean, just for UV, UV Viru on both days, I think are great. But I think the opening slot where Viru would have fit, that's more or less we are kind of shaping up to a certain extent where I think we will have it sorted by the time we get to Australia. But UV's place, that position, that's interesting. I think maybe there is room there.
Okay, so Mridul, whatever they just said, that Sehwag and UV should should be given another go, and no place for Harbhajan and Zahid. So that's about the old horses. If you talk about the new people, now that Ajinkya Rahane played so well on the opening slot. So do you think that Rohit Sharma, when he comes back from injury, he should take his slot back, or Rahane has done enough to promote himself from number 4 to number 1? Again, we cannot hear you. We cannot hear you.
Mridul, why don't you log out and log in? Maybe that will help. Who knows?
Okay, same question is for Puneet then. Puneet, do you think Rahane should continue playing in the opening slot when Rohit Sharma comes in?
Actually, I think Rohit Sharma has done good in past, and he has been doing it for last couple of years. So what I feel, just on the basis of 2-3 matches, we should not give his place to Rahane. Rahane is performing well on top, and he is also performing well in number 4 as well. So he can play good on number 4, and we should not we should not break that pair who was doing good in past Champions Trophy as well. He has scored 200 on top, so we should give him a chance again. If he fails, then we can think about Rahane. But just for 2 or 3 innings of Rahane, we should not think of promoting him to the top.
But I would disagree with that, because Rahane has been the find of the tour, and technically he's so I mean perfect and ahead of people like Rohit Sharma. So if we give these kind of batsmen a longer inning, the best slot to open, I mean the best slot to play in one day cricket is to open the innings. So I think opening really suits him. Pankaj, you just raised your hand. So do you agree with this or disagree?
I agree with you, Keshav, and I disagree with Puneet on the Ajinkya Rahane being the opening part. See, because I see a twofold role of Ajinkya Rahane as a batsman on the top. I'll tell you why. Because see, at the top of the innings, you need a batsman at one end who can stabilize, who can probably carry the bat to as long as possible. I don't see that in Shikhar Dhawan. But then Shikhar Dhawan is a great bat, and if he's doing well and is high on confidence, he can be destructive. We've seen that. And what role I feel the secondary role apart from this, as a technical batsman, as a sorted batsman on top, I think Shikhar Dhawan also needs somebody who plays along with him well, gives him time, gives him confidence, and that's how Shikhar builds up his innings. I mean, maybe if he's not in good nick, I think then our man Ajinkya Rahane is a much better bet than Rohit Sharma. So he kind of adds that kind of confidence which helps Shikhar Dhawan. So I believe that maybe Jinx should be given the top spot for a while and see, and let Ajinkya Rahane prove that this 100 on the top of the innings was not a one-off thing, not a fluke. Because as you rightly said, Keshav, he's been the find of the tournament. He's proven in all formats, all positions. So I think that guy deserves an extended run, especially at the top of the batting. Just imagine that he starts doing great at the top and he helps Shikhar Dhawan. Just imagine what kind of opening partnerships we might get.
So do you think Rohit Sharma has a place in that 11 then in the middle order?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, so you don't want him in the team at all?
No. So if I'm going to the World Cup and where Ajinkya Rahane is opening the batting and he's doing well, and then I would honestly look at an explosive batsman, maybe UV, maybe somebody else. Who's the somebody else? I don't know. But then that opens up the spot for UV very well as well. I mean, if MS thinks that he's in good nick.
I think people like Raidu have already, been knocking on the
door.
door.
Absolutely. I'm not discounting Raidu at all. I mean, again, see, it also depends that what kind of form you're carrying into the World Cup. You can't rest on your past laurels. कि भाई मैंने 4 साल पहले ऑस्ट्रेलिया में अच्छा किया था, या मैंने 2 साल पहले अच्छा किया था, or 3 series before I scored so many runs in that series. That doesn't really matter. I mean, yes, obviously anything can change, but then you would like to take the entire playing squad high on confidence, with a lot of runs and a lot of wickets behind the backs, which would be great. And I think that's how you start winning, and that's how the momentum starts. So I would take that with me.
Pankaj,
yes.
Pankaj, I want to ask you something.
Please.
Actually, you said that Rahane is more balanced and he's more certain about carrying his bat throughout the inning. But if you will look to his stats and if you will keep that 100 out, he was considered as Rohit Sharma part 2. He was, he was
By
same kind of
who?
mentality.
By who?
By everyone,
No,
by
who's
everyone.
the
Actually,
everyone?
he has the habit of 30 and 40 runs and then playing a something weird shot and getting out. If you will look to the stats, this is
Uh,
his past 100 and he has been doing it in the past. It was just that inning he scored 100.
Yeah.
no, but that inning. Oh, Mridul is back. Okay, Mridul will. Yeah, go.
Actually, Pankaj, I agree with Puneet bhai because apart from this 100, Rahane was playing where he was getting good start, but he was not converting that start into good runs. He was like getting 20, 30 odd runs, but he was not scoring well because I think when he debuted in the ODI, he was playing. He scored 25, 30 runs. Then he threw his wicket. Just
But
like
then, Mridul, when did you see Rohit Sharma getting those conversions?
I think Rohit has been given a well run as an opener with Shikhar Dhawan. He has performed well in that Champions Trophy, and because of Rahane, because of this 100, we can't think that he should be taken as an opener. I think his role in middle order can be a good one because I want to see can Rahane build up on this form and score and convert more his innings into big ones. My only
You
concern
know
with
what?
Rahane is
I agree with you. I agree with you, Mridul, on that part, and Puneet also. I agree with both of you. But you have to remember one thing that you again see. Rohit has been playing for such a long time over the years, and he's never built up that reputation that maybe he's changed, maybe he can do so much more. But look at Rahane. Yes, I agree with you that probably he was not doing enough. Whenever he was getting a chance, 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe not converting. But just see what he did in the Test match, how he brought that confidence with him, and he transformed himself. Maybe I'm not. Maybe it's a little too much to say transform himself, but what he did with that innings was very nice to see. So what I'm curious about is that maybe that this is the kind of series that Ajinkya Rahane needed to become that batsman that Rohit Sharma could never be, or maybe will never be. Who knows, right? So I mean, obviously the talent is immense. It's there. Everybody knows that. Maybe he just needed this kickstart to his career now, and he's now that he's got it. Uh, I think he should be given a try. If he does well, then brilliant. Otherwise, you have options. And remember also one thing: if you do that, out of 10 innings, if he out of 5 innings, let's say he does two really nice ones, three okay, then it opens up your pool of openers. You'll always have options. You'll always have Rohit Sharma, who's done decently in the past. Shikhar is there if required, if need be. There is
Robin
Ajinkya.
Uthappa.
Sorry, Keshav.
so
Robin Uthappa.
There is Uthappa, there is Vijay. So it's such a nice bank to have. And as a captain, you would love that any day. So that's what I'm saying from that perspective. I think he should be given a chance. And I'm not discounting what he's done in the past at all. So I agree with you on that one.
Well,
But just looking at this performance, I'm saying.
uh,
what
so
I think is, that taking Rohit Sharma out of the team at all, I think that will be a little too harsh on him. Maybe we can play him in the middle order because if you remember at the start of his career when he started playing, I think he used to bat at around 6 or 7, and there he actually added some really valuable runs. If you remember the ICC World T20
Yeah,
2007.
why would it be harsh? All those years when he was not doing anything, were we kind for nothing? I mean, if we can be so kind, why can't we be harsh? I mean, if you have the best 11, I mean, why can't we? See, I don't know why we always talk about being nice to people. Is the country's name at stake?
No, but Pankaj, he hasn't done that bad. I think he's done better than Shikhar Dhawan. So, अगर किसी पे गाज गिरनी चाहिए, तो I think that should be Shikhar Dhawan. Last match he got a flat track, he got some bad balls. Everyone went out of form suddenly. Anderson was not bowling well. I think अगर इतनी सारी innings के बाद he played a good innings, I think it should be him who should be
No, Keshav, I give that credit, a lot of that credit of Shikhar's innings to the inning that Ajinkya Rahane put together.
Yeah, but then if you take it same way, then Rohit and Dhawan they have also played some great innings together. If you remember Champions
No,
Trophy
no,
or the India Australia
see,
series.
remember, as I said, that the Rohit Sharma is a great option because he's done very well in the past. Ajinkya is in great form. That's why, because of the form, I would like to see the team gives him an extended run, and that bank opens up for us. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to options and everything, I think we have enough and more to try that. If Rohit Sharma is in good nick and MSD is kind to him, maybe he'll get a chance. But if I'm making my 11, he'll always be there in the 15 maybe. Rohit Sharma if he's in good nick. But if I'm looking at the 11, if he's not opening, then for me, if I was a captain, I'll find it difficult to find a spot for him, if not opening.
Yeah, I think that I agree with the point that Rahane should be given a longer run as an opener. But I think Rohit Sharma still would not do that bad, because the problem with him is at the top of the order he takes and consumes too many balls. If you see the second ODI where he played, he took some 80 odd balls for 50 something. So I think if he plays in the middle order or the lower middle order, and he has the only final 10-15 overs to cut loose, I think that would really give India a better option, as an alternative for maybe Yuvraj Singh, who is out of the team right now. So Sunny is out of focus for a long time. Sunny, sorry about that. We were just too much noodled into another topic with Pankaj. So if I talk to you about the same thing, do you see Rahane keeping his opening slot and Rohit Sharma not given a chance back as an opener? Okay, we cannot hear Sunny. He's frozen. Let me go to Parth. Then Parth, we have talked about this now. A little about the other cricket happening. Last week we saw, Zimbabwe defeating Australia, which was a big shock because Australia at that point of the time was the number one team in the world, and Zimbabwe was the number 10th. So, do you see that Australia were a little, overconfident and they took Zimbabwe a little too lightly?
This is the beauty of the limited overs cricket, that you can outscore the opposition. And if on a particular day, if an individual plays a good cricket, they can knock out the best team as well. I remember Mohammad Ashraf playing good innings against Australia, and in the English conditions, Bangladesh won a match. But these teams, we always like to see Zimbabwe doing good, Bangladesh doing good, even Kenya did good in 2003 World Cup. But these teams are not consistent, and when they will get consistent, it would be good for cricket as well. So I just want to see good competitive cricket from these minnows, and for that they need to be more consistent, and they should be up for any task at any level.
Okay, Mridul, did you see that coming? Did you expect one upset being there, because Zimbabwe has always been an underdog and they are playing a couple of top teams?
Yeah, definitely. I think because Zimbabwe plays very good in their home, and they really outplayed South Africa when Prosper Utsya took a hat trick, but they couldn't really win this game. And I think a player like Brendan Taylor, he plays a good inning. He scores 60, 70 odd runs, but he didn't finish it, and Chigambura have to finish it with Prosper Utsaya. So main concern for me for Zimbabwe is that if a middle order or player like Brendan Taylor plays a bigger role than this, then I think Zimbabwe it will really become a good team. And they have been always been good like Bangladesh in their home. So they like defeated New Zealand and give them a tougher games. So yeah, I think Zimbabwe really played well.
Well,
And apart from
I think they're way better than Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a little
Bangladesh
overrated
in
team.
Bangladesh.
Even there, if you see what the hell they did this season, they just squandered like anything in the World T20. They didn't win anything against Sri Lanka in their home series, and now even recently against West Indies, they did so bad because West Indies and Bangladesh, the conditions are not that much different. They got all out on 70 odd. So I think if Zimbabwe gets as much as matches as if Zimbabwe gets as much matches as Bangladesh gets, test matches or one day or T20s, I think they can really improve on their rankings. Pankaj, did you see that match?
I saw it in bits and pieces. Read about it for sure. Very exciting to get to know that a team like Zimbabwe did that. to the Australians. It's always nice to see Australia get beaten, especially by a minnow side. But you know, yeah, I agree with most of you guys on that part. That yes, I agree, Keshav, completely. That looking at Zimbabwe in the limited overs format, I believe that they are better than Bangladesh for sure. And if they apply themselves, they could be a lot better. And I completely agree, and I appreciate everybody's thought that everybody wants Zimbabwe to get a lot more exposure and a lot more games. They will get better. We'll have another exciting team because right now, when if Zimbabwe is playing, we don't really give them much thought, right? You know, we think, oh, it's a TK, it's a sort of a practice game and everything. But it's nice to see. But I won't go so far by saying that looking at whatever little that I saw of their batting talent, it's great their application in that match for a limited overs format. But I still don't think that they'd be that great in the test. So I won't go so far just yet.
So I mean, if you look at it, Parth, the loss which Australia suffered, what kind of mental shock do you think they would have got? Because recently they have really improved their reputation. They won Ashes 5-0. They won the preceding succeeding ODI series against England 4-1. They went to South Africa one Test series 2-1. So losing a one-day international to a minnow like Zimbabwe, what kind of effect you think they would have had?
They must be disappointed, but it is a try series, and after that they played South Africa. They won against them, so um, they have bounced back in a way, and now they will be playing finals against South Africa. So I guess they are pretty decent side. They are prepared for the next match, and it will be a great final because South Africa versus Australia is always a great to. It is always a great contest. So I am looking for that final.
Puneet, before we disclose this, just want to ask you: did you catch that game?
Yeah, actually, I was just on the end of that match I saw, and I was shocked that Zimbabwe is doing that well. Actually, I saw when it was Australia was 100 for 5, and I thought Clark was batting. I thought Australia will score 200 or something, and they can secure that total. But when I saw Zimbabwe winning that match, I was shocked, and I was really happy for Zimbabwe that they have done good, and as we all said, they should be given a little more exposure, and India should or other good teams should toward Zimbabwe more so they can get more exposure.
And not did they just win that game. In the game before that, Prosper Utsia took a hat trick.
Yeah, took hat trick. Yeah, against South Africa. Yeah,
South
and
Africa, South Africa were 142 for no loss, and from there they were 191 for 9. So that shows that these kind of teams should not be taken lightly anymore. And even world tournaments like Champions Trophy, World Cup, T20. I mean, if this loss would have come at that point of time, Australia would have had to really bad suffer. But then that's how they learn, and they probably would start taking them seriously. So, and I just read somewhere that Varun Aaron would be playing a couple of games for Durham in county championship, which is a good thing. Because last time we talked about the options what India can do, to improve their performances. So after Cheshwar Pujara, we have another lad, going to England for county. So that's a good news. And on that good news, we should probably take a full stop and end this fun-filled hangout here. Great to have you back, Pankaj. Although it came in the middle, but it was a very healthy conversation. And Puneet, again, as I said in the beginning, it's good to have you for the whole hangout because that hadn't been happening for a long period of time. And Mridul, our regular, he's always there sitting on that chair smiling, and he's still smiling. And then Parth,
The new look, Mridul.
the new look Mridul, exactly. And Parth, our RJ. The other RJ was missing today, Imam, but Parth made an appearance here for us. So thank you, everyone, and see you next week, hopefully with India having been won this one day and the T20 series. So that probably leaves us with the Champions Trophy to come, and let me tell everyone here that we'll be having some special hangouts with some of the cricketers because we have got tie-ups with teams like Kings 11 Punjab and Sunrisers Hyderabad. So see you next time, hopefully with another fun hangout. So take care, goodbye, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you.